I have these 2 wood pumpkin cutouts. I grabbed these from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to start by just removing the jute hanger. And I'm also going to take off the raffia bow that they have at the top. And I'm going to save the bow and just put that to the side. I'm going to take my General Finishes Antique Walnut Gel Stain. And I'm going to be using a piece of paper towel to apply this, but you can use a small foam dabber or even a paintbrush. And I just want to focus on getting in between the raised areas of the pumpkin. This wood cutout has the 3 raised pieces on it, and I'm just going in between those raised pieces. Now, if I get a little of the gel stain onto the other part, that is totally fine. And I'm just taking a small amount on my paper towel and just rubbing it into the wood. This gel stain is very easy to work with. You could also just use some brown paint as well. Next, I'm going to take my Wise Owl Snow Owl paint, and I'm just going to paint 1 coat onto the raised areas. And this did a pretty good job of covering up any of the gel stain that got onto this part, but if it didn't, that is totally fine. And whatever I do to one pumpkin, I'm doing the same exact thing to the second pumpkin. I did get a little of the white onto my stain, so then I just touched it up with a little more of the gel stain by just going on top of it. And I'm going to allow everything to fully dry. I get these wood slats from Hobby Lobby. They are $5.99. And I like to grab these when the wood is 40% off, so I can get 40% off of the $5.99. And I'm going to take 6 pieces. And I'm going to use more of my gel stain. And I'm applying it here with a Gen foam brush. We like the Gen brand as it is a little better of a quality and the foam doesn't break off into your project. And I'm just going to apply that to the top of each wood slat. I then have this napkin. I'm going to remove the plies. This had 3 layers, so I'm going to remove 2 of the white layers and keep the designed layer for my project. I'm applying some Wise Owl 1-hour enamel clear. You can also use the Wise Owl varnish, and Mod Podge should work as well. And I'm just applying that to just the raised areas of the pumpkin, and then I'll lay my napkin down. Now you can see here how the napkin instantly wrinkles. And the second thing I wanted to point out is the reason why I painted the raised areas white is because you can see that when the napkin is laid over the white area, it's much brighter, whereas the area that's kind of laying over the stain is much darker. So I want my colors on my napkin to pop more. So I don't want to mess too much with the wrinkles. I'm going to lay down a piece of saran wrap, and I'm going to use my brayer, and I'm going to roll on top of my napkin while everything is still wet. And you can see how laying the saran wrap and using the brayer takes those wrinkles out pretty well. And while that is all still wet, I'm going to take more 1-hour enamel clear and just go over it. And you don't want to over wet it because your napkin will start to rip, but you do want to give this a nice coat and then just allow everything to fully dry. I went back to my wood slats, and I'm going to use some popsicle sticks, and I'm just cutting them so that they can lay a little shorter than the width of 2 wood slats put together. So I'm just putting the wood slats so the stain is facing down, and then I'm going to take a popsicle stick and lay it so that I can connect 2 of the wood slats. And I'm just using 3 popsicle sticks to go all the way across. Now these aren't that thick, so it's easier to glue them together this way. It'll just be a stronger hold. And I did that on all 6 boards, so now I have 3 sections. I set those aside, and I went back to my pumpkins once they were dry, and I'm taking a piece of sandpaper. You don't want anything too rough or it will just rip your napkin. And I'm just going along the edges of the raised area and sanding off all of the extra napkin. And this peels up pretty easily. You just want to rub it, and as you rub, the rest of the napkin will just peel off, and you should get a nice clean finish. And again, I did this on both pumpkins. I'm going to glue my raffia bows back to the top of each pumpkin. I get these wood dowels from the Dollar Tree. You can also find them at Dollar General. They come in a variety of different sizes. And I just took one that fit inside the pre-drilled hole at the top of my pumpkin, and I stained it with the gel stain. And then I set that aside. I'm going to go back to my wood slats that I had glued into 3 sections, and now I'm going to glue them all together. So I'm putting one on the bottom, and I will take 2 of the other pieces and glue them on these sides. So we're making like a box. And I'm just holding everything together with hot glue. It seemed to hold pretty well. You can use some wood glue for a stronger hold. And I do recommend that you gel stain the inside of the wood before you glue everything together as well. And then I applied more glue to the one end, and I laid one pumpkin on the left side, and then I added more glue on the other end and added the second pumpkin. And again, I would gel stain the back of the pumpkins as well. So now I have both pumpkins on either side of the box we created. And I decided to give my pumpkins a little bit of an antique look. So I just took some of the gel stain and applied it on top of the pumpkin, and then I just rubbed it in with a paper towel. And there we go. Now we just have this really cute pumpkin box that you can fill with whatever you'd like. You can make it a centerpiece or just a table topper. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Paint products, tissue paper, transfers, and mesh stencils can all be found on our webpage at chalkitupfancy.com. And don't forget, you can also check out other tutorials on our webpage as well. Have a great day.